The gym was supposed to be a place of strength, laughter, and teamwork. But for Emma, it had turned into a battlefield of humiliation. That night, when the school lights dimmed and the halls echoed with silence, a group of bullies dragged her into the empty gym. They tied her wrists with a thick rope, their cruel laughter echoing as they hoisted her up toward the rafters. Dangling above the floor, helpless and terrified, Emma could feel her heart pounding in her chest. Her voice trembled as she begged them to stop, but the bullies only smirked, mocking her cries. And then, they left her there, alone, hanging, suspended like some cruel display. Emma had always been the quiet girl. She loved sketching in her notebook more than talking in the cafeteria. Her silence made her an easy target. The bullies saw her as weak, someone they could control and break without consequence. But as Emma dangled from the rafters, sweat rolling down her forehead, something inside her began to stir. Fear mixed with fire. She realized that if she didn't act, she could be stuck there all night, or worse. Her eyes scanned the gym, desperate for a solution. That's when she spotted it, a sharp piece of metal sticking out of a broken basketball hoop. Summoning every ounce of courage, she began to swing her body back and forth. The rope cut painfully into her wrists, but she kept going. Every swing brought her closer to that jagged edge. Her arms screamed with pain, her shoulders felt like they were tearing apart, but her spirit burned stronger than her fear. Finally, with a desperate swing, she brought the rope close enough to scrape against the metal. Back and forth she rubbed, the fibers fraying little by little. Minutes felt like hours. Tears blurred her vision, but Emma refused to stop. And then, it happened. The rope snapped. She tumbled down, hitting the mat with a thud. Pain shot through her body, but freedom was sweeter than anything she had ever known. She lay there for a moment, catching her breath, before slowly pushing herself up. She wasn't broken. She wasn't weak. She was still here, and she had escaped. The next morning, rumors spread like wildfire. Some students whispered about Emma's daring escape, others scoffed, saying it was just a story. But Emma didn't care. For the first time in her life, she walked into school with her head held high. She wasn't going to hide anymore. When she saw the bullies laughing in the hallway, she didn't look away. She met their eyes, steady and unflinching. And for the first time, they were the ones who looked away. Emma decided to channel her pain into power. She joined the track team, surprising everyone with her speed and determination. Every time her feet pounded the ground, she felt herself breaking free from the chains of fear. She trained relentlessly, pushing her limits, transforming her body and spirit. Slowly, she gained the respect of her peers, not because she was perfect, but because she was unbreakable. The bull. Emma had always felt invisible. She walked through the halls of Ridgeway High with her books clutched tightly to her chest, her gaze fixed on the floor. Her classmates hardly noticed her, except for the bullies. To them, she wasn't invisible at all. She was their target. Every insult, every shove in the hallway, every cruel prank reminded her that she was trapped in a cage she couldn't escape. But nothing compared to that night. When the bullies cornered her in the locker room, Emma thought it would just be another round of teasing. She was wrong. Laughing and jeering, they dragged her into the gym and tied her hands together with a thick rope. "Let's see how long the little bird can hang," one sneered as they hoisted her toward the rafters. Emma's legs kicked helplessly in the air. The gym was empty, the doors locked, the night outside pressing in. Her cries for help bounced off the walls, but no one came. Time slowed. Her wrists burned against the rope. Her body swayed like a pendulum. Fear filled every corner of her mind. She thought of her parents, who worked late shifts and trusted she was safe at school. She thought of her little brother, who looked up to her. She thought, this is it, this is how they'll remember me. And then came the spark. It was small at first, like a whisper inside her saying, "No. Not like this. Fight." Her eyes darted around desperately until she saw the jagged metal on the broken basketball hoop. She began to swing. Every push made the rope scrape harder against her wrists, sending waves of pain, but she didn't stop. She swung again and again, bringing herself closer to the edge of hope. The rope frayed. Her muscles screamed. Her vision blurred with tears. But she kept going until, snap. She fell hard, the gym mat breaking her fall. For a long moment, Emma lay still, gasping for breath, her whole body shaking. She was free. Bruised, aching, terrified, but free. She crawled to the corner of the gym, hugging her knees, and for the first time in years, she didn't cry out of weakness. She cried out of survival. The next morning, she expected to be broken. But something had shifted. When she walked into school, the whispers followed her. Some students said she had escaped the rafters like a superhero, others mocked her as the girl who fell. But Emma's steps were steadier than ever. She wasn't the same girl who had been tied up. She was someone new. Still, the days ahead weren't easy. The bullies didn't stop immediately. They tried to laugh it off, calling her names, trying to remind her of that night. But every time they taunted her, Emma stared right back. No shaking hands, no lowered eyes. Just quiet, unshakable defiance. And slowly, something strange happened. The power shifted. The bullies' words started to feel small, while Emma's silence carried more strength than their laughter. Emma knew she couldn't let fear define her. She needed an outlet. That's when she joined the track team. At first, no one believed she